My name's Lee Macon, Director and owner of Macon Homes. So we're based on the west coast of Western Australia, about an hour south of Perth. So coastal suburb, obviously the love for the ocean and the builds and the like. So sort of a small to medium sort of a custom home builder. We do, like I was saying, a lot of waterfront properties. We do have a nice canal system over here as well. So hence the reason why I obviously moved down this way and enjoy building what we build. Homes with great ocean views, canal aspects. So yeah, enjoyable. Good, times are good at the moment. As a custom builder, I've been building since 2005, so we're probably getting on to 14 years now. We've been travelling along okay. I feel though sometimes we weren't probably getting the recognition that we deserved by the sort of the quality of the builds, and I found it difficult to sort of express to the public what we actually do and how to sort of communicate to them, I suppose. So I obviously come across your website, looking at the AP group and also offering the builders mentoring program, and I was hoping to obviously get a better understanding of my business, looking at trying to grow my business to the next level. And I wasn't necessarily looking at being the biggest builder in my area, just wanted a little bit more time for life and enjoying the area that I live in, and obviously letting people out there know what I actually do and the quality that we perform. So I suppose I spent APB as a portal to do that, or a stepping stone in which to do that, and hopefully grow and build my business. And within that, I was looking through some of the APB documents or short videos, and I could see that it had the ability to be able to let me forecast correctly, and when do I take off more work, or when shall I hold off, or when do I advertise, and when do I employ more staff? And since taking on the APB group, I've noticed that one of the best aspects of it for me is the KPIs. Me and my bookkeepers, I think we've been trying for ages to develop something that actually all come together, where I could have all the information in a snapshot in front of me, so I could evaluate my current position and see where my profits are and the like. And it can be difficult sometimes in the building industry because there's nothing out there that really puts everything together. Your income, you've got subbies, deposits, supplier deposits. So it's hard to sort of put that together and get a firm position on where we stood. And when we had a look at a couple of the short videos, we found that the KPI was obviously what we're looking for. And since we've taken on with the AP group, my bookkeeper and I have actually utilised a fair part of the KPI to move forward. So it's really given us a definitive position in time to enable me to employ staff, or to sort of slow up, or possibly even just to get a better positioning. So that was one of the main reasons why we joined the APB group. So, and yeah, it's been advantageous that way for sure. Some of the greatest benefits that I've gained out of the APB group, and again, getting back with the KPI spreadsheets, is definitely one of them. So I also found that pricing for profit extremely helpful. You know, the margins required to move forward, and some of the one-on-one coaching has been great too, just to sort of, sometimes you're a little scared to ask other people within your industry in case you're sort of giving away any of your secrets, and you often wonder whether or not they're actually going to be truthful and probably fabricate some figures, because they always believe that, you know, like, oh, we're okay over here and the grass is always green and we're making heaps of money and it's all good. And but bouncing some ideas, some honest ideas through the one-on-one coaching with Andy in this situation has been a great relief to know that I'm not alone, and that some of the figures that I was looking at were realistic. I suppose it's just great comfort to know that there's somebody there that I can actually ask a lot of these questions and get some truthful answers. And that was one of the best things that I sort of gained out of it. And, you know, there's some checklists. I found also the qualifying for clients quite good as well. So leading up to it, I always sort of stumbled around sort of that first interaction, or that contact, and how do I approach them, and are they actually, without sounding horrible, worthy of my time? Because sometimes you get led down the garden path and really you're just a yardstick for another builder. But some of the checklists that the APB group have got actually helped me recognise the real leads that I need, and sometimes put the ones that are just, well, looking at me as a yardstick off to the side and let me concentrate on really what I need to be doing, and that's clients that want to build with vacant homes. So, and there's some other good checklists, and they might seem obvious, but goal setting is something that I always knew should be done. But once you start doing the APB group, it says, no, you must do this, and this is how you should do it in format. And you give it the time, and by the end of it, you think, well, geez, I know that it should have always been done, and it's obviously obvious now, but once you actually do it, it actually makes sense. So that's been a great tool for me as well. Some of the checklists and some of the things that the APB group sort of, I wouldn't say push you to do, but advise you to do and go on with. So that's been great as well. When I looked at the program and the portal, I'd have to admit it looked overwhelming. There's so much information on there. Like, where do I start? Do I start over there? Do I start there? But getting back to it, and I suppose what I was trying to do, I was looking at the whole page and not going back to the start. So the APB group actually listed where I should start, and it's got some key points. I have to admit, I jumped from one area to another because of what was important for me. So when I initiated with the APB group, one of the biggest things was for me to get a better understanding of my business. So that's where I concentrated on. I had the sales there in place, whether it be by chance or hard work, just been fortunate enough. So I concentrated my efforts on the running of the business, looking at it, the KPIs, and asking Andy a few questions here and there. But as I progress, I know now that we're looking at the sales and marketing is obviously my next goal to get through and get a good understanding. So I found that the way it's structured and the videos presented, I think is well structured. Nearly a bit overwhelming, but once you break it down and you isolate where you want to concentrate your efforts on, bring it back to basics, I found it quite good. And I've get my staff to utilise some of it as well, whether it be for Facebook advertising or Instagram. I'll just suggest, look, watch this short little program or 30 or 40-minute video. We could save ourselves a lot more time if you just watch it for 40 minutes and then put some of those things into practice. And we actually have. So we've cleaned up our Instagram page and our Facebook. And it's been very helpful, that's for sure. One of the best things I've gained from the APB group and how it has actually impacted on my business is structuring. So making sure that I've got the right people in place, and using the one-on-one coaching has been beneficial for that, talking to Andy about the correct way to advertise for people, employees. Also making sure that within the KPIs that we're actually able to take somebody on was a great benefit. I'd always second doubt myself, do we have enough work up ahead and what's going to happen? And all of a sudden I'm looking at the money that, the contracts, the amount of work that's going to come in over the next X amount of weeks, and that's all calculated through the CPI, or the KPI, sorry. And it confidently let me know that, yes, I can actually employ somebody. We've got X amount of weeks ahead of us, and our profit margin should be this, and it's in our fixed expenses to actually employ somebody, which hopefully will then continue to grow and grow. Where prior to that, I was probably a little bit second guessing myself constantly about whether or not to put somebody on or advertise. So yeah, one of the best attributes of it, I suppose, is the one-on-one and the KPI, going back onto that spreadsheet, which has been really beneficial for the growth of my business. Recommending the APB group, I would suggest at the start, I would have been a little hesitant because I didn't want the other builders to have an edge on me. And at the end of the day, we all want an edge on our competitors. But what I can also see, and in our state at the moment, it's a little bit sad, but there are quite a few builders going under because of times and the like. But I also believe that for everyone to be on the same platform is also very important too. And, it's a matter of ethics and putting the right things in place. But when a builder effectively, unfortunately, goes under for whatever reason, mismanagement or not enough sales or stuff like that, if they actually maybe took on some of the suggestions from the APB group, they wouldn't have been in that situation. And unfortunately, when one builder goes down, we often get associated with them, and then the community as a whole lose trust in these custom builders or our unique builders. And we need the smaller builders to obviously give certain clientele the homes that they like. Not everybody want to go to the larger building companies. in saying that, I would recommend them to other builders to make sure that they're all on the same platform, and that they don't go into receivership or fall over due to a bit of poor management or whatever. So, and I believe that the APB group can obviously give us the platform we need to move forward on a level basis, and to make sure that nobody falls into hard times. Finishing up, I'd just like to say that I've enjoyed my experience with the APB group, and I expect it to go on for some time, and I'm looking forward to my monthly meetings with my one-on-one coach, and obviously the information that he provides is invaluable, and we're always putting it in place. So don't necessarily agree with it at the start, but once we put it in place, we can see why it was required, and the time that we put in place is obviously going to be rewarding to myself. So yeah, no, I'm very happy.